Chris Marcus, who's our special teams coach. Really, we call it special forces. And I don't know why or how it came up, but it's funny, like the scenarios you're in where you learn like lessons that stay with you in life. I remember we were like turning punts and like just practicing catching them in the end zone before practice. And I'm a visual learner. And he was talking about time management. And he said, listen, you have a jar. You're trying to get as many rocks into the jar as possible. What do? You don't just kind of throw them in haphazardly. You put the big ones in first, then you put the medium ones in second, and then you put the small ones in, and they'll trickle and fall around. And that essentially is kind of how you time manage and manage your life. And I think to me, like that is the same. And so I care about the same things. I care about consuming great art, music, television. I care about obviously having a great career and doing good work. I care about being active and finding avenue to be competitive. I obviously care about my relationship with my friends, my family, and most importantly, my wife. And now I've got these two Care Bears, these two kids that need a lot of care, and so they've been added to that equation, and we still have the same amount of disposable time in our lives. I think the thing that's changed is as we're in different ages and stages, how you're labeling those rocks change. So maybe I'm not, competing in a rec sports league right now in this stage, but I'm, trying to go to a hit class or go on a run. You know, Maybe it's not, a fancy, date night in the city as often, but maybe when my son is in daycare, we're going to take the time and we're going to go for lunch when the younger kid is napping, right? So trying to figure out a way to make sure that I'm serving all of those masters, for lack of a better term, but doing it differently is important. I think that the real key though is I do have a partner who understands, works in a similar industry, who is as if not more invested in my success personally and professionally, is my biggest cheerleader, and thus is the first person to make the biggest sacrifices. So, and that is a constant conversation. It's constant check-in to make sure that we're on the same page. It also comes with some therapy. And we went to therapy both as a couple and separately. And one of the things I learned with my first child is that the experience I was having was entirely different than the one my wife was having. And at times when I thought we were really good and we were connected, she felt very alone. So making sure that we're checking in is important. I mean, I was just in Vegas for 4 days. She was at home with two kids. So there's a physical and mental sacrifice that takes place, and to allow me to do what I need to do. And I think being cognizant that we're a team. Again, in the student athlete piece, she was also a high level student athlete, and so we think like sports people. And inside a ring, it says forever teammates. And so this is a scenario where I've got the ball and I'm playing ISO and she's setting screens.